much better. Ooh, that one made me weep. That was Purple Urkel. Got that over here in West Tulsa at the Lixerals. Once again, not getting paid for it, but I do have a certain amount of interest in the place as it is around the corner, and I like being able to go around the corner. That noise you hear, dogs coming in and out of the door. We just had breakfast. We're still kind of, you know, going to the restroom and various other things going on. Today, I decided to talk about records. Everyone says I've been doing these videos. Why am I not talking about records, since that seems to be the only thing I really understand? So today what I want to do is talk about having two copies of the same album. You'll see this a lot, and you know, it's different types of things. Sometimes I've seen collectors who'll have 17 copies of Purple Rain. Every time they see a copy of Purple Rain, they want to get a better copy, so they keep buying it, and they never get rid of the old ones. There are those type of people. And then there's, you know, the anal retentive ones. I know of one collector who has multiple copies of every Beatle album, and, you know, that's, you know, it's one of those people where, hey, he's got 3,000 albums, but, you know, 1,500 of them are duplicates at least. So I'm kind of an obscure record collector in that I really collect for the joy of collecting. I don't really put a whole lot of rhyme or reason into it. I don't really think through, you know, that I need this, because they're, you know, I know what I'm interested in. I'm interested in a lot of stuff. I like classical, jazz, rock, blues, soundtrack, comedy albums. I'm sure I'm leaving stuff out, world music. So here are a few examples I just pulled, and this is by no means comprehensive, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is an interesting collection, one of my favorites from Ralph Records back in the 80s, Residence, Subterranean Modern. And what you'll notice about it is, let's see, which one? This is the third pressing. This is either the first or the second. Gary Panter, friend of ours here on, I'm still learning how to do that. Friend of ours here on Facebook, famous for Pee-wee's Playhouse, the Jimbo series back in the old punk rock days. This is one of his great covers. And, you know, the difference you'll see is this one has the Residence Tuxedo Moon Chrome MX80 sound. And there's a different, you know, the Subterranean is different. The whole thing is printed with different colors. I'm still learning how to use these cameras. And so I got one. It was in storage for a while. I couldn't live without it, so I bought another one. And when I got them together, I realized, oh, these are very different. And it's one of my favorite albums. I really love this compilation. The Residents and company doing their renditions of I Lost My Heart in San Francisco. Now this is a more common thing you'll see. This is a bootleg of the Beatles psychedelic era. At the time, this was the only place you could get stuff like this. There's like some Strawberry Fields demos and outtakes, and this is a printout from Discogs. Something's going on out there. Yeah, All You Need Is Love from the Our World TV special, 2 or 3 different versions, because if you go back and watch, they, you know, recorded the strings and the horns, and then they recorded other parts. It has Your Blues from Rock and Roll Circus, What's New, Mary Jane. Not sure which mix this is. Some stuff from television, and some stuff from Magical Mystery Tour. Anyway, now that I've sold you on the album, the point of this video is, this is the original, I can't, everything's in reverse. This is the original, and conventional black record. This is the picture disc, and they even You know, here's the flip side. There's the back of it. That's the bootleg. Well, they're both bootlegs. And this is the flip side of the same thing. Anyway, if you're wondering, these really nice picture disc sleeves from, I think these come from Bags Unlimited. If you have picture discs, they look really nice. They're really crystal clear. So, yeah, most of this video is going to be me fooling around with records, so just get used to it. Here's a good example. I love this album. The soundtrack to Superfly, my man, Curtis Mayfield. This is like, yeah, wow. This changed my life when I heard it. This is one of the greatest albums ever made in my estimation. And I bought this in early 2000s, and as you'll see, it's red. However, I had this on 8-track tape. That's the problem. All my collection I bought on 8-track tape, and I'm just rebuying that damn 8-track tape collection over and over. Here we have an original pressing. I bought this from my friend Curtis Andrew Beckwith III. It's a black record, but yeah, original pressing has a little flap here. You see Curtis's collar, ear, and you know, I've seen them where this has been ripped off. But these, you know, it's delicate. People, they listen to records when they're drunk, they listen to records when they're high, they listen to records when they're, you know, trying to have sex, or should be having sex, and a lot of them don't survive. My God, you know, they had to replace the Bob Marley, they had to reissue the Bob Marley Catch a Fire with the lighter cover. We'll look at that next time. But yeah, it's one of those things that's so delicate. You don't put it on a damn reggae record. All right. This is another phenomenon. Residence not available. This is a second pressing of the first edition. And I say first edition because it's really, this was the original way it was released. It was reissued with, I have it written on here somewhere, something like 7 minutes. It restores 7 minutes of music that was cut out of this version. No real difference in the cover, which is why I have kind of stuff written on it. They do have different labels. And I've decided which one I like better, to tell you the truth. Another interesting one, Residence again. I really love the Residence, as you all know. This is why I bought first. This is Meet the Residents. Let's see, I think I can explain this better here. So, to those of you who are not raised on Beatle records, this is Meet the Beatles. And the flip side, the back, whichever way you go, had this picture of the Beatles on it. So the first copy I bought was this one, which has the back picture of the Beatles on it. And on the back, yeah, it showed this one. Yes, my right is my left, and my left is my right. And a few years ago, it was remastered in mono. This was remastered in stereo. So here we have mono, and as the Residents remixed it themselves, I take it they went back to their own tapes and remixed it themselves. I didn't see anyone else want to do it in the 70s. Anyway, here we have the mono version. And of course, on the flip, we get a photograph, not a weird print, but a photograph of the Residents, which becomes this. To me, it's one work of art. All right. This was interesting. And here's where you have kind of a work of art and something more audio-wise. Excuse me. And yes, excuse me, I'm an American. I drink out of Big Red cup. George Harrison, Extra Texture. I bought this when it came out. This is the early purchase at Starship, where I still buy records, you know, like whatever it is, 30 some years later. This is, it's got a couple of chips missing here and here, but yeah, you pull it out and there's George, and you know, you can flip it around, and I hate to try to do this in front of people. It's really not something you can do and show at the same time. Anyway, there's that. That's the original. Here's the reissue, this time on Capitol. That's also interesting. So here, if you look at the label, the apple is eaten to the core. This was the last record the Beatles put out on Apple, and it was so, it was all litigation at that point, so George had him put an Apple core on it because he felt that was all that was left. It was reissued on Capitol, and this is from the late 70s, early 80s, 1980. And this is just flat. No texture, no extra texture, which I think was the whole joke. George Harrison was famous, you know, not only as a great guitarist and movie producer, but also for some really lame jokes. Let's see. How many do we have here? All right. School's Out, Alice Cooper. This actually turned out, I destroyed a copy. So this is a copy I destroyed. I absolutely destroyed when I was like in the 6th grade. And I mean, you know, I was appreciating records on levels people shouldn't appreciate them on. You know, I was taking a pen and flipping it around. I think some of them I actually took, you know, scissors and engraved my name into the inner groove, like Bob Ludwig or something. Let's see. But for those of you that don't know, Billion Dollar Babies had like 4 hits. It was Alice Cooper at the height of his power, and it monster hit. Once again, another album that changed my life. You'll find that most they were either happy accidents or albums that changed my life that I have multiple copies of. So it came, let's look at a pristine copy first. It came with a, this is an original pressing. Instead of being on the, the palm leaf label, it's on the green Warner Brothers label, which was much earlier. And it came in this. This was the inner sleeve with lyrics, so a picture of Alice and this baby. The album, when you open it up, this is the golden age of albums. It looks like a giant wallet, and when you open it up here, you've got all this. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So first, we've got the $1 billion bill. This is a nice copy without pinholes or tape marks on it. The original I'm about to show you that I have, I mean, this is original, but my original has, I'm going to figure this out, has pinholes and tape marks in it because I kept putting it up every time I'd hear Alice Cooper and decide, man, I got to get something up there of Alice Cooper on the wall. So, I remember my friend Scott Fadley when we met in, I think we were in 5th grade or something like that. You know, we were both really getting into music at the time, and Scott was Scott had all these, Donny Osmond and the Partridge Family, Michael Jackson posters up in his room, and I was taken back. And when he came over to my house, it was like Alice Cooper and David Bowie and, you know, who the hell, Dr. John, I don't know, Dr. Hook, Dr. Demento. Anyway, it also comes with these perforated cards, and as you can see, these are still in the thing. They have, the perforation hasn't been broken. Of course, so this is the pristine copy, and you know the vinyl's not pristine. It's good. I listened to it, but it's not, you know, it's certainly not the audiophile. Yeah, let's get high and screw around with records. Awesome idea. This might become a two-parter because I don't know that you want to sit through all this.